A lot of viewers, thank you for staying tuned. I hope you are enjoying this program on croissant. Of course, we have our master baker here, Dominic, and we have made our dough. That is resting. Now, what's the next step?
Now we're going to make an almond cream.
Yummy. And that's going to be a filling, but you're going to use it two ways, aren't you?
We are. All right, for the almond cream, right, for the almond croissants, you add your butter and your sugar and you cream that together. All right, with the almond cream, it doesn't take long to put together, right? Just cream your butter and your sugar. Once it comes to this stage here, right, you add your egg to it. So now I'll add the egg. Yep, so we're creaming the egg, the sugar and the butter. Okay, the size of the eggs for this recipe is important, right? It's a 55 size. If you use a bigger egg, it's going to be more runnier, so you have to add some more almond milk to it. Well, you can use a bar mix to cream it, it's a lot quicker to do. Now I've got it to the right consistency, right? Now I'm going to add my almond milk to it. So now we're adding 150 grams of almond milk to it. And we'll bring all that together. So once we get it to this consistency, it doesn't take too long. So this is ready to go. So now we've got the consistency right. What we're going to do is let it sit with the, overnight with exactly like the croissant dough. We're just going to Glad wrap it. And we'll sit it overnight.
A lot of Dominic, so the almond cream has been made, and what are you going to use that for?
Well, that one there, we're going to use it to make our almond croissants and our danishes.
And what's the next thing you're going to show us how to make?
The next one is going to be our chocolate ganache.
Ganache with panache.
And now for the chocolate croissants, we're making a chocolate ganache. We've got chocolate bits here. And we've got 150 mils of thickened cream. We're going to put the 150 of cream on the heat. All right, we'll bring it to the boil. Okay, once the cream comes to the boil, right, we add the chocolate to it. Leaving it on the heat until the chocolate dissolves. With the ganache, it's 1 part cream and 2 part chocolate. So you've got 150 mils of cream, you need 300 grams of chocolate. Okay, this is a good consistency. There's no chocolate lumps in there. Glad wrap it. And now we'll sit it in the fridge overnight. A
lot of Dominic, you've made this beautiful ganache.
So it's very important that these two, the almond cream and the chocolate ganache, is made the same day that we make our dough. So it sits in our fridge overnight.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the dough that's been sitting overnight in the fridge. So we're going to unwrap it. And we're going to fold, I'm going to show you how to fold the butter. It's called laminating. Need a little bit of dusty flour. So we'll get it to about this stage, a nice even. Okay, once we get the dough and it's nice and even, right, like that, we're going to put the butter through it. It's called laminating. So we've got about 250 grams of room temperature butter in there. So we'll spread that through, like so. And what you do is you fold the ends, like so. And fold these ones over. So what we're doing is we're distributing the butter through the dough evenly before we start using the rolling pin. So now we're using the rolling pin. Okay, we're going to roll it out to about 1 inch thick. So that's why you rest the dough overnight. So you've rested, the dough's been rested, so it's easier for you to spread it while you're working it. If you try to do it straight away, you'll find that it will shrink because the gluten hasn't relaxed. Okay, well, we make croissants every day, fresh croissants. So we've got machineries that do all this. It's a lot easier, let me tell you. So once it's like so, roll over and we'll give it a half fold, it's called. Right, and that's how you get your layers in your croissants, and it's nice and flaky. Now that I've got to this stage, I'm going to go sit it in the fridge for about 10-15 minutes. Okay, it's been sitting in the fridge for 15 minutes, so you see that the butter's a little bit hardened up. And that's really important to do that, because if it's too soft, you'll see that it will start pouring out of the dough, and you don't want that to happen. Okay, the reason why we put it in the fridge is to harden up the butter. Right, we don't want it too soft, because if you do, it will end up coming out of the dough, and you don't want that to happen. Okay, one thing, it's a lot easier using machines. Well, in the old ages, the way they would do their croissants by hand. So you want the same length as the first fold. Okay, so you want it about the same length as the first stage, or the first fold that we did, and that's about the same size as it is now, about 1 inch thick, nice and evenly. And I don't know if you can see this, but you can see the butter spreading evenly right through the whole dough. So now the second fold, right, it's called a book fold. You bring the two ends together. Always try to keep all nice and even. So that goes back in the fridge for another 10-15 minutes before you sheet it out and cut out your croissants.
All right, well, we're going to go to a short break. When we come back, we're going to continue this love affair with these croissants.